Let's fire it off.
Oh, it's going to be a good episode today, ladies and gentlemen. 5 on 5 podcast presented to you by directmusicservice.com. 5 on 5, FIVEONFIVE is the promo code. Go get some edits, go get some remixes, some originals. Travis, where can you find us?
Man, on YouTube, 5 on 5. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and ding the bell every time we drop a video so you be notified to see our pretty faces.
Well, what we do around here, it's the usual. It's the boys. I'm one of your hosts, Phenom. Down the street from me, Nick Lopez. Down the street from him, Jupiter Williams. And our special guest today, I haven't seen this gentleman in quite some time. We used to get after it anytime he was in Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesus has returned. It's Disco Jesus. Make some noise for Thibault.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen. This is very, very cool.
Man, thanks for being
Disco
here, bro.
Jesus is here.
Thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
Overdue. I haven't seen you in ages. We have a lot to catch up on. We got a lot to talk about. You got new music out. You're still ripping and rolling. Now, in nightclub years, you've been doing this how many? Because nightclub to dog years is what, like 300, 400 years?
Yeah. It's been a while. You know, I was thinking about that. This is going to be, talk about aging yourself. There's no way around this number unless you were like 12 when you started. It's coming up on 20 years since I first started DJing and I didn't have another job.
Right.
That was like I always kind of messed around with music and DJed for friends and stuff, but that was it was like 2005.
Dude. Yeah. And things were very different then.
Oh my God, yeah.
Wait a minute, 20 years makes that your what? Your golden year or your silver year? What year does that make
gray?
that?
I think it's gray. I got
your gray year? Okay. I like that.
The resounding gray year. Yeah, there's a lot
gray.
of those. There's a lot that pop up, like song requests. You're like, oh, what is this gray hair? You're like, oh, I remember now. It was a pesky song request from somebody that told me I suck.
It's like the Medal of Honor of the stress of song requests.
There it is.
Gather them as the years go by.
I know, dude. And now speaking from when things started to where you are now, I'm gonna get it out of the way early. What's the biggest lesson you've learned in the dance music scene?
Man, in the dance music scene, that's a good question. I mean, God, you learn all the lessons the hard way. You know?
Right.
I would say, did you say hardest or biggest?
Biggest. Yeah.
Biggest lesson DJing specifically was always make sure you're pleasing the women in the crowd. They are going to drive everything if it's a dance party.
Yeah.
Like, you want to hook your boys up, you want you want that party atmosphere, but if the girls aren't dancing, sorry.
Yeah.
That's a big one. And then I think early on I realized have your everybody's got like a word for it, but like your secret weapons, like your backups. You like if shit is just going south, you can always throw XYZ on and have a couple categories of that. That saved me so many times. And when you're in that zone, you need to you need to bring out the backup.
That's the key right there.
Yeah.
When you can realize you're drowning. That's
or
the test.
Right before would be better.
Right before, even better.
Yeah.
Right
if
before.
you're already underwater, you might be in trouble. But yeah, if you can feel that coming, and everybody's felt it, it's like if you've got comedian friends, are like, "Oh shit, I'm about to start bombing." And you gotta have that. So you gotta have that joke you can pop back on.
Right.
Gonna have those tracks.
Yeah,
dude. They're mostly Calvin Harris for me. I'm gonna be honest.
It's Calvin Harris for you?
For a while, right?
Typically, Calvin. Yeah, for a while it's Calvin. And
mine is always bop.
You just play. Yeah, you're like.
Yeah. It's like it'll clear out any bad vibes.
Yep.
You're either gonna laugh.
Fresh start.
Yeah,
it's a fresh start.
Yeah.
Fresh start.
Yeah.
It's the palate cleanser.
Nick, what's yours?
Calvin Harris, for sure. Even I created disco the way back, back in the days of the blog house stuff.
A cheat code. He is a cheat code.
How different is that shit from whatever the last 10
years?
The
later stuff, yeah.
Right. Calvin has always been on it, and especially in those early days, it wasn't considered pop, really.
Oh no, it was
Right.
underground.
It was indie, and his sounds were branching all over.
Yeah.
And now I don't know if everyone just kind of grew up with him, but he was like, man, like, y'all probably aren't in the clubs anymore. You probably have kids, so we're gonna make some music for the family.
Yep.
Like,
Listen, I'm standing behind this from the first day that I said this. If Offset convinces QC to put all their money into Calvin Harris, have Calvin Harris produce Offset's album, and that would be the #1 hip hop album in the world.
the Amigos Calvin,
Just like
Not even, just
everyone
Offset.
else.
Just Offset. Yeah.
Yeah.
He never fails. I mean,
No,
He never fails, but I think he brings the best out of Offset. I mean, he brings the best out of a lot of artists. But God, the way that Offset sounds on his tracks,
yeah.
It is kind of cool.
out this world.
yeah.
Even Frank Ocean, he's good with Frank too.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna just get into it today. I think we're
Get
just
it.
gonna hop into the battle. Thibault, what we do around here every week, we compare two artists head to head, their top 5 songs on Spotify. So it's gonna be a this or a that. I give you 5 rounds, 1 song from each artist, and you pick which one you're keeping and which one's going away.
Oh, okay.
So today, I'm surprised. I can't believe it. We've done how many episodes now, Neek? Maybe what, 150, 160, 170?
We're creeping up to 200 soon.
Okay.
I gotta admit, I was like, I gotta see what the format of this podcast is. Talking about point a long time. So I went in and did like a little light research.
Good.
By the way, it's the shit. And now it's like I've got I've heard a couple, but like I got the whole catalog now. I can put into my my podcast bag where I'm in the car. I consume a lot of podcasts. So this is like a nice little treasure to have kind of uncovered. But I went back and I had to listen to a bunch of the A-Track episode because that's like my boy.
Dude.
And
so good.
Yeah. Oh man, that brought back all these. Speaking of Calvin Harris in those early days, it brought back all those memories. I mentioned it earlier, the blog house stuff and that kind of era. Man, it was nice, man. So I'm honored to be on this thing, man. This is very cool.
Thank you. Well, we are very happy to have you here, but it's going to come at a price. It's going to be a little difficult today.
Yeah, let's get it.
Because today's matchup is Casey. Oh yeah. Well, today's matchup, Casey and the Sunshine Band or Brothers Johnson. So we're going to start with round 1.
Okay.
Round 1, Disco Jesus, you tell us, is it Casey and the Sunshine Band, Give It Up, or Brothers Johnson, Strawberry Letter 23? I see Neek combing his mind for Give It Up right now. Don't worry, it's a newer song.
By the way, Colin, I love your tweet about this song.
Which one? 23. Oh, yeah. I was playing Strawberry 23 last night, and a guy got on the table with his phone in the air to Shazam it. And I was like, all right, cool.
Just got out of jail.
I was like, all right, welcome back, man. Which way are you going on this?
I'd probably go KC.
Okay.
But we also don't get to hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have your phone on, you can do it. You can mute it.
Mm-hmm.
You can give it a listen to, but I would encourage you to reconsider your choice.
Yeah.
It's like, take the time, go listen to it. You're gonna
it's
about to blow it.
Yeah, it's kind of
it's a favorite amongst us in our.
I'm very confused. We'll talk about it after.
I'm shitty at song names too.
Okay.
You think I'd be,
if you want to listen, just mute us and then go through and listen. To
if
the
you have your phone on you,
you can go round by one if there's something that doesn't strike a chord. In the meantime, we can talk about how weird last night was with the guys standing on the table.
And actually, can I give you a topic that I'm going to throw a question back at you?
Yes.
So, did you move to Las Vegas?
I live in Vegas now.
All right, give me a little something on Vegas. And how
Okay. So since moving to Vegas, every night's been completely different. Neek has kind of been my North Star here and helping me navigate what's to be the unexpected. But he could not have prepared me for DJing for Ricky Martin, for DJing for Impractical Jokers, for DJing for Nicolas Cage, for DJing for most of the WNBA. Most of the NBA, Steve Nash, or Steve Kerr, I should say, and Grant Hill. And there's just those moments where you're like, oh shit, that's so and so. And it's so Vegas. So very Vegas. So yeah. That's my little Vegas anecdote for right now.
I will say, like, in the first sentence, I had it muted, and the first 5 seconds of Strawberry came on. I was like, whoops. Like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
I mean, all I needed was like 5 seconds. Yeah.
Easy. Round 2 a little bit tougher. KC Boogie Shoes. Shout out to the Trick Daddy sample.
Yep.
Take it to the house.
Yep.
Or Brothers Johnson Stomp.
I gotta listen to
Who
Okay.
sample Stomp?
Did somebody sample Stomp? Let's see. Let's do the old number crump. Number crunch. I can't talk.
Number crump.
So it's a number crump because I can't talk.
Stomp.
Yeah, Stomp is
Okay.
groovy.
Okay.
That's a tough song.
It's groovy.
Is Boogeyman, is that also KC?
Boogie
Boogeyman.
Shoes.
I know,
Boogeyman,
is
yes.
KC.
Yeah, I probably
Yes.
would have gone Boogeyman maybe over Stomp, but
Over
Stomp.
Stomp.
Yeah.
Round 3, Casey and the Sunshine Band, That's the Way I Like It. Or it was Stomp again, but I'm going to fill it in here. Let's go with Ain't We Funkin' Now from Brothers Johnson.
Ooh.
Casey.
I go
Travis
KC
got
on
KC.
that one. That's
KC?
kind of one of my fave KC. Yeah.
That's quintessential disco.
Yeah.
That's like
Mhm.
any disco movie that they make, they're going to have that song in there.
Yeah.
Or some variation like,
What is it? Boogie Shoes?
no, That's the Way I Like it.
Oh, that's why I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It's got enough funk in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Round 4, Please Don't Go or Get the Funk Out of My Face.
Oh,
My face for me.
Tropic Thunder. I mean,
Yeah.
Tropics. Tropics.
Yep.
Nope. Drop it. Yeah. What's
Tropics.
semi-pro?
Yeah.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro. Yeah, get the
Oh yeah. You gotta go, brothers. On that one.
round 5, Shake, 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 or I'll Be Good to You, Brothers Johnson.
I'm going back, Shake, Shake, Shake.
Okay.
That's like
yeah.
disco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's go.
Casey's just
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah.
You forget how many. Like, I bet a KC show is just like no.
Probably a lot of fun.
I mean, Get Lifted wasn't on there, was it?
Get Lifted was not on
It's
there.
not on there.
That's the
I'm
song,
surprised
man.
at number 1.
That's 112 only you. Original.
Boom,
Yes.
boom. Yeah.
What was the last Brothers Johnson song?
It was
I'll Be Good to You.
Oh, do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cut.
That's a cut.
I mean, they're both monsters.
They're both monsters, yeah.
You know. Lightning round. We're gonna go 10 rounds today in the lightning round. We've done so many episodes that the lightning round started to get vast. I think is the perfect word for it.
Not
It's
so much
very-
lightning.
Yeah. It wasn't grease lightning. It was very slow. So let's start with round 1. Thibault, these are 2 artists I'm going to give you. One stays, the others delete out of your Serato, delete out of history. You just go to grab that record and it just turns into dust, basically.
So this is in the set.
Yes. This is all time too. So you'll never be able to listen to this on your own in the car while you're driving. Right before an important meeting or something like that.
Anything. You're erasing the existence.
I just started sweating.
So you just got to pick the one that stays.
Yes.
Oh man. Okay.
Starting with Gorillas or Blur.
Which one do we delete?
Which one do you keep?
Which one are you keeping?
Got to keep Gorillas.
Okay. De La Soul or Naughty by Nature.
De La Breadth.
Duck Sauce or Chromeo.
Damn. My heart says Chromeo. Yeah, I gotta go Chromeo.
Okay.
God. But if it's DJ set, Duck Sauce.
Okay, that's fair. Fleetwood Mac or Tom Petty.
Damn. Actually, very different for me. Different uses. Fleetwood Mac or Tom Petty. I got to keep Fleetwood.
Okay. The Who or the Rolling Stones?
Stones.
Chili Peppers or MGMT?
Chili Peppers.
Okay. Let's go with Diana Ross or Donna Summer.
Donna Summer.
Okay. Roots or NERD?
Damn. God. Now I just realized I got to go back and listen to all that. Roots or NERD. Shit. I got to go Roots.
Okay.
As a producer, I want to say NERD.
Sure. That's fair. Daft Punk or Justice?
All right. It's been fun. Bye. God, I can't answer that one. That's rough. I guess I gotta say Justice, even though the right answer is Daft Punk.
Sure.
But I'm gonna say Justice because of the beginnings of my real live music career, like the AUTOBODY stuff. We were just, how can we be Justice, and how deeply rooted that was in that blog house time.
Yeah.
Which, we've mentioned 3 times now.
Yeah.
It was on my mind after I listened to a little bit of the 8-track episode. So yeah, I got to go Justice there, but that's a tough one.
I know you're not alone in wanting to say, how can we be like Justice? I think we were all kind of in that same space of being like, this is it.
And also, how can I get that, as much of that music as I could find in my DJ sets too? So it was across the board, man. How can I make that music? How can I play that music? How can I just fucking find more of that music? Because it wasn't on the radio. There was no Spotify playlist. It was word of mouth, blogs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a cool time, man.
But it's important to note that when DANCE came out, it wasn't like, oh, well, what about Daft Punk? It was just like, here's DANCE, what the fuck? It wasn't like a big conversation of, well, what about this? What about that? What about that? It was just Justice.
Yeah.
It was
it had to be that way. It wouldn't have worked if it was like, this is the heirs to Daft Punk, or if people start making the comparisons and the duo and the French and the whatever, even stylistically, until after it already like hit you right in the gut. And the We Are Your Friends remix
Simeon
in New York, kind of like just in New York and Brooklyn way back, and very, very underground, not even like released for the longest time. You had to get rips and whatever, and then they,
because you were in Brooklyn at that time, right?
No, at that point, that was pre-New York for me. Austin. But the cool thing about when that record dropped and when they started going out and touring, I remember they went on like a MySpace tour. That's how long ago that was. It was like MySpace was cool, and it was like the underground, it was like Crystal Castles and Justice coming to a,
what a tour.
Yeah. And in Austin, very much still at the time, I mean, it was all types of music, but it was not a DJ town. There was no dance clubs really. And if you DJ'd, it was hip hop. And so all the DJs I knew spun hip hop, and I did to an extent. And it was like not part of any kind of, there's no DJs on stages. There's DJs in booths and at restaurants and maybe opening and playing in between bands. But it's a live music capital of the world. So it was almost like, this is not part of that. This is not live,
Right.
And then you get LCD Soundsystem and the resurgence of Daft Punk and then Justice, and now all the cool kids and the rock kids and the indie rock kids were listening to fucking chainsaw house music, you know, and like it became very punk and dirty, and drugs and sweaty dance floors like popped up everywhere, and it was like the most exciting thing in the world for me, because I was like, finally, like I have like a little thing I can be a part of.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was huge. Really, I bet you Austin's not the only place where it was like that.
For sure. I mean, you know, it was kind of, there were these pockets, there were these hotbeds of blog driven interest taking over, where people were like, you know, I don't know who M83 is, but, you know, Hipster Runoff told me this is cool, you know, that I should listen to this. And then, you know, Scion backs it or whatever, you know, and then it was like, you know, kind of, it was bubbling up.
But it wasn't to get signed, and it wasn't like ever going to get played on the radio. And the goal was very different. It was very like, it was very punk rock. And then it was like, just how hard can your shit go? Does it wreck a dance floor? And it had almost no other like aspirations. Weird as fuck.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah.
People loved that about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it had like nowhere to go.
It wasn't about streams though. It was like, yo, whatever.
No streaming. You couldn't even get your shit on iTunes. I remember like someone had like a record on iTunes. Like, how did you do that?
Yeah.
It was like there were still like gatekeepers everywhere, and then all of a sudden it was like you just pop open, you know, your favorite blog, and every day there were like 2 or 3 new options, and if like one was good, you could. I mean, it was the shit. I don't think there's been anything like it since, except for maybe, and I didn't participate in this as much. I just got old, I guess. I don't know, but like SoundCloud rap maybe was kind of like the closest thing.
Yeah.
There was no, of course, these people were trying to get signed and were trying to like blow up and get numbers and stuff, right? But it was all around and under and not having to do with labels.
Yeah.
It was all indie, yeah.
All indie, and things could like pop like super organically. And I guess you have like Spotify playlists and stuff now, but it took 10 plus years to go by before I could look back and be like, man, I missed that. That was so exciting, you know.
Like the only thing that's comparable now is like Bandcamp.
Yeah. But I like, you know, I almost feel like Bandcamp is just like a cool, like very useful pipeline for stuff, and then you can use it to obviously sell your shit and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and it's good for discovery too, for sure. But yeah, or maybe, you know, Hype Machine, maybe kind of something like, of course, Hype Machine was just, you know, amalgamating all these blogs anyway. So
yeah.
I don't think kids really understand how like exciting that was. You know, I guess you get your like Friday new music drop whenever your favorite artist is about to come up with something that's like exciting.
It's so easy. Like, it's just a Spotify playlist that's just like, here is cool. And
cool. Yeah, man. And that's not cool.
That's like the opposite of cool.
Yeah.
It was different back then, putting a song on your fucking MySpace and being like, I found this shit.
Or anyone else.
You were real ahead if you made your own MySpace music page so you could put some shit on it.
You put your little squares of your top people. It's like, this is my taste. You know, this is the trophy room. But and you know, we may be getting too deep into the kind of like nerddom of like the joy of crate digging and stuff like that.
That's why we do this, though.
Yeah.
That's
the whole point.
That is it, man. You know, and you did touch on something too. You know, there was always a paragraph to go with the music. You know, this sounds like this and this. And
coming from a trusted tastemaker.
Yeah. Or coming from someone that just got shithoused every night and was in these clubs and was like, dude, so and so played this. Like, this is the new song from Toxic Avenger or something, you know. Just, yeah. Here it is, you know, like
a shitty MP3, but you can, you know.
Like, I got it from the DJ afterwards. Here it is, you know. And I miss that there was emotion behind presenting your taste, where you really said it instead of being like, here's all these songs, see you later, see you next week, you know. And it's like,
yeah,
I don't know, the feeling was there for sure, as far as you would check back to certain blogs because you knew this person, A, kind of likes what I like, and B, has much more of an ear to the streets than I do, living in the middle of Indiana, you know, like.
But also you had access to it in the middle of Indiana.
Right.
You didn't.
And then you cosplayed, you know, being from Brooklyn or whatever, you know, because you bring these bag of trophies back to the dance floor and be like, tonight we're gonna act like we're in Williamsburg, and the crowd's like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" Like, I love it. Yeah. And now people are like, "Yo, like, just play the hits, man." And it's like, I don't know. I miss that.
I keep wanting to set up. I know. Speaking, gonna keep going back to the same shit, but doesn't A-Track do a blog house set every year on one of the like rave ship cruises or something?
Yeah.
It's like I think he does it. I don't know if it's every year, but he's done it like multiple times. And I'm like, dude, I mean,
I want to go.
yeah. And you forget because like you can't even. Then here we go with like the kind of like nerd stuff, but you can't find it anymore. You can't find those MP3s. You know,
a lot of it's just not on the internet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I was
MP3s or whatever they were.
Just 98, 92 kilobits per second now.
Dude, no one will be caught dead peddling those on the internet. And be like, no, like whatever. But that was
some used, uncleared samples and whatever. But like, the blogs aren't hosted anymore. I got to go back and crack open like my oldest laptop, see if it turns on first, and see like what's still in there because shit, I think it'd be really cool to do like a throwback set. Like,
totally.
Yeah, you alluded to something, and it was on my list of things to talk about. James Murphy was at your wedding.
James Murphy was at my wedding, technically, yes. That's I'm not supposed to even say that, but yeah. So the story is, me and my wife, our first date, we were both living in Brooklyn, and our first date was at that point, the final LCD Soundsystem show at MSG.
That was your first date?
It was our first.
Crazy. Is that the one they made a documentary out of?
Yeah, there's a documentary of our first date.
Wow.
We don't show up in it, but we're in there. And it was like me and one of my good buddies who actually introduced us, who's passed away since. And he was like, "We got to go to this show. It's sold out." I mean, how the scalpers are in New York. It's like, I don't think anybody actually buys a ticket from the box office anymore.
Yeah.
They are so quick, and they were all.
That's blog era stuff too. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Did you get your own ticket, or did you have to scalp it? And so we ended up like, I didn't have a lot of money in my bank account, but I emptied it so we could scalp some like back of the floor seats, but like on the floor. And we got two, and then like kind of met this girl, and it was like, dude, and she was a fan of LCD too. I was like, man, you got to come. I was like, I just knew, I was like, if I can get her to go to this show, we'll just have like the best time. And like, who knows what will happen. And we ended up like getting her like a nosebleed seat on the way, taking a cab, and like saying, we'll just squeeze you in. And it's like, we get down there, it's like chairs. It's like, shit. And we like get past the security guard and get to like a little section, and it is full, and like early full. And they had I don't know if you saw like who's on. It was like Shit Robot, like all these awesome.
Liquid opened that show.
Arcade Fire was there. They didn't play, but they sat in on tracks, and it was just the coolest shit ever. And we found our little seats, and I took a picture of it. And I think it's like one of my first Instagrams. There's one open seat in the entire like ocean at the bottom of MSG, and it's right next to our two tickets, and no one showed up.
Wow.
She sat next to us, and we're about to have our third kid any day now, and we've been married for 10 years.
That's awesome.
So that's the beginning of the story. Like, the significance of LCD was huge. That we felt like that was, I mean, for a while it was the last show ever, and it was a fucking epic night. And we were like, we were getting married. I was like, we got to do whatever we can to just get like, I was like, almost all of the band members DJ, like almost all of them. I think they might all DJ.
Yeah.
The drummer does, and Nancy does. And so we just started like calling people and like getting my friends in the music industry to find agents and connect, to be like, this is going to be like, no one's going to know. You're not going to be the wedding DJ. It's going to be all like musicians and DJs and, industry people. No one's going to ask you to play Brick House. It's like, this is the after party, but we got to get someone from the band to come DJ. And here's the story. And they were like, no. And we finally like got through, this is like months of like trying to navigate in and not be too pushy, and like, it is like James Murphy's not a wedding DJ,
Yeah.
And so finally it seemed like it was going to not happen. And I was like, okay, to my buddy, I was like, I know the agent. Can you just send this one little short email just from me? If you can get that to him and he still says no, we'll leave him alone. And I told him the story of the date, and like immediate response. It's like, yes. And I was just like, very excited about getting married, but that was like, oh. And we were just losing our mind. And he came and he played all vinyl, and every single track had love either in the title or the album title. And I think somebody has like the set list somewhere. I don't even remember it because it was so out of my mind. It's like people who have gotten married, they'll tell you like, you don't remember, you kind of like black out. It's like so like intense. And I was like, I don't need to hang out with them. This is not like, I'm not trying to be creepy, but of course he like brought us a bottle of champagne and like hung out with us afterwards. And he was my hero, like,
Yeah.
And another big reason why we started AUTOBODY, and another person we tried to just rip off as hard as we possibly could. No, like no qualms about it. So yeah, I mean that it was just unbelievable because it was so hard to pull off, and he was so cool about it. And it's something that sounds so not cool on paper, like come
right.
His wedding or whatever. But yeah, it was the shit. Yeah.
James Murphy DJ'd your wedding.
I took some pictures. And then I just like, I bet you don't have to stay, man. I felt so bad.
please leave, please.
Yeah, I'm only gonna ruin this.
Like if you could just fly away.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just evaporate.
Bye, James, waving to the sky.
Yeah, if you could just evaporate, please.
You're like, hey, I have a band that I don't want to tell you about.
I know. Oh my God, hard not to.
I DJ as well. I don't want to talk about that either.
I was like, I don't want any USB drives to give him.
I don't want to talk to you. I love you so much.
You don't want to talk to me.
Yeah. Please
do us a little favor and get the hell out of here.
I'll be happier.
He's like, Thibault was so rude. I had such a nice time playing his wedding.
Backfire, yeah.
Yeah. James hit you up. Hey, can we be friends? You're like, get out of here.
You're free now.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Why is he crying and telling me to leave? I don't know. I don't get it.
Emotional guy. I don't know.
It was perfect. I love you. Get out of here. It's like, I can play more for you guys if you want. We have 3 questions left in the lightning round. Tupac or Biggie?
Oh, man. It's lightning round, but okay. I say
it's a slow ass lightning strike right now.
I know. I obviously forgot it was lightning. That last answer was 30 minutes.
What we do around here?
Tupac probably catalog, but just like actually linguistics, like Biggie in the pocket. That's it for me. If I'm gonna have somebody on a track, it's Biggie. But Tupac got to work with a lot of awesome producers and had a I think the discography, I'd take Tupac, but as a rapper, Biggie.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Damn, God, these are good because that's a very similar question. There's a similar feeling it's giving me. I think younger me says Michael, but maybe older me says Prince.
That's the reoccurring theme around here.
Yeah.
Anyone that knows music, and we've been pretty good on having pretty music intelligent people. Everyone's kind of alluded to when
Sorry to break the string.
No, you told James Murphy off. You're my hero. You told him to get out of here. No, anyone that's kind of grown up in the poppy veil of Michael Jackson and then kind of dove deeper into Prince, because we've kind of rabbit holed this a couple times. I think the only offerings as a child giving you Prince pop music was Raspberry Beret, Kiss, 1999.
Yes.
And
they were all kind of risque too.
Little red Corvette's in there somewhere.
Little red Corvette. Yeah. I think the Pocket Full of Horses kind of made it a limited on where it would get played. But yeah.
And we're all in agreement too that Mike at a young age was just like, he was already a supernova at a young age. So
yeah,
because we just look into Prince at age 17 and on.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but I will say, pound for pound, I don't think anyone got busy as quickly as they did as Prince from his self-titled on. You know, I don't know, because he could have easily flopped on the second album.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've heard flops from him.
Exactly. You know, like it wouldn't be out of it wouldn't be out of the realm to be like, Prince fell short on this.
Right.
But it was just perfect. And
I think that just comes from having so much.
So yeah, he never stopped, so prolific, so long, would have kept going forever.
Yeah.
It's like Tupac, like he has so much material that like you're bound to get some shit you don't like.
Yeah.
There's just so much.
And I like that. I like a big, broad bag of stuff. I was actually having a conversation with my sister that they said something about somebody just put a record out, and she was like, "Damn," I was like disappointed because I like love them so much. And I was like, "Yeah, but they've been around." I think it was Disclosure. And I was like, "They've been around for long enough now where you're having like everyone has a Radiohead album or two sometimes."
Yes.
I don't fuck with it, and that just means they've now, you know, that's like a mature act now. They've done enough to where they're not just rehashing the same shit. You can say that,
which is also kind of cool because you end up later you come back listening with fresh ears, and you're like, oh, okay, this feels a little different now. I do that with Tupac and Prince, and
it's better. You think
you're like, oh, this
ice cream for every meal, but you fucking don't. It would be gross after a while.
Yeah, it's you know, it's music for different stages in your life, I think. And I think if you expected Prince's self-titled at the age of 30 or 40, you're completely aloof. You're missing the point, you know?
Right.
And same with Disclosure. Disclosure was what, 18 when they started?
They were like 18 or 19 when that first album came out.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe like one was 18, one was 17 or something crazy.
Yeah, they were kids.
Yeah. I remember seeing them and they, you know, had to be escorted back to the green room after their show. They couldn't hang out in the club, you know. It was just like, here they are, thank you, and then we'll see you later. Yeah. But to expect that static and not see that artist grow, I don't know. It's the gift and the curse, because you fall in love with a period of time from your favorite artist, and then you just know that version of them, and they're not Mickey Mouse. They're not wearing the same outfit every day.
I was having that conversation the other day about something, and it reminded me of like people who love Star Wars. You can see like wherever, which if you're like a fan of the prequels, that means you were born after a certain time. Or Star Wars hit you when you were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's the best Star Wars for you. I'm sure like little kids are around, you know, the sequels are the best. And it's like, Ray and everything's like, what? You know,
Mhm.
but like that is like you said, that's then becomes like your definition of what Star Wars is. That's your so if you started it in a certain artist's discography, it's like, well, that's what you fell in love with. And so that's kind of like your what and sometimes, like you said, it is like a maturity thing. You know, if you come to something at a certain age or maturity, it doesn't hit you the same way.
Right. Right.
I love Star Wars so much I hate it now.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
All
Dave
of
Filoni. I mean, Dave
We
Filoni
can
is
go
doing
off
the
for
right
that.
things right now.
Yeah, we're putting a lot of pressure on
I think
Dave.
Ahsoka is going to be very, very big for Star Wars moving forward.
I might come back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
I'll always watch. I'll always be there. Yeah. What, I'm not gonna go? Like, no.
Yeah, right.
This is happening in my lifetime while I'm on this earth. I have to go.
That's how I feel about DC movies now, man.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I'm too far
I
in.
have to watch it. I'm here now.
Yeah.
Getting my money, but like, just don't make it suck next time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, but you know,
Right.
You're like, so you're out? You're like, absolutely not.
No.
Just to clarify, like,
I
You're the
want to
first
be,
one there.
but I'm not.
I don't want to be, but that movie sucked.
yeah.
you're like
I guess we
I'm still here though, guys.
See you next time.
slide you the money across the table quietly. Like, please don't even acknowledge me. Yes, that's me in the crowd. But yeah. Yes,
It
that's
also-
me in the DC t-shirt. Like,
It also reminds me of like you said there was a lightning. Are we still in the lightning round? Shit.
we have one question.
Yeah, one more.
We have one. Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, the lightning round is in you now.
Yeah, I am Fat Thor, so I'm just absorbing the light. It reminds me of MGMT and like how some people were so disappointed in like the follow-ups of that, and then you read interviews, and it'll make you end up liking them more, even if you fell in love with that music. Some of those songs were like jokes, like making fun of pop music, you know, like the big ones.
Yeah.
They always wanted to be a psych band, you know, they're like a psych rock band. And so their albums since then, if you like psych rock, you fucking love MGMT.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
into their pop shit, which was also unbelievable. You can't tell me it's not just objectively good.
Right.
You're not going to get any more of that,
Right.
you know, and so that can be like a hard thing for people to kind of, you know.
That makes sense. Yeah.
They probably hate playing it. They probably, you know, they're like, you know, here's kids again.
Yeah. Like,
Like,
what was that reggae track from Snatch? Is it 10cc?
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
I don't
So-
like reggae. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
I mean, the fucking song, you know, we don't like reggae, but it's like they're like talking shit about reggae, but it's like one of the top 25 greatest reggae tracks.
Yeah.
And they're like a rock band, and then people are like, "This is the best song." They're like, "Fuck, really? That one?
Damn, we
Yeah.
crushed it. Fuck.
Yeah.
Are we a reggae band now, please?"
It's like
Yeah.
you do a track and it goes the opposite way, like DOA by Jay-Z.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like,
You gotta-
fuck
it's like if
auto-tune,
you
turn it
bank-
on.
If you bank in a 3, you're like, "No, I meant that."
Yeah, I meant to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It got past the quality control where someone somewhere was like, "This is it," and they're like, "Yeah, I guess it is."
The joke went right over their head. And it was just good.
yeah. Like 10cc, the whitest guys ever doing reggae. Let's run it.
Yeah.
People love
It's
it.
like you did it too good.
Like what?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
you got to be on Jimmy Kimmel tonight?
that
song?
And they're like giant mustaches and long hair.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Reggae band now, I guess.
Yeah.
I think
The
they're even
record label just has them out on tours.
And they just listed as reggae.
the Wailers.
Oh,
Big
guys, we
Jamaican
got you.
flags in the background. They're like, "Ladies and gentlemen, 10cc," and you're like, "I thought this was Peter Tosh coming on. What do you mean 10cc?"
Followed by the police.
Yeah.
This reggae
And then
concert sucks, but
headlined
the
by
rules-
UB40.
Yeah. The label's in there like, listen, guys, you're gonna have to smoke a lot of fucking weed right now.
Need
That's
you
some
guys
good
catch
news
a
and some
vibe.
bad news. You guys ever smoked before? No? Okay, let's kind of act like it.
Let's not act like we've been doing it for a while, all right?
Bless up. Then they're like, what?
Oh man.
Huh?
And you know their label head is like headed by Matthew McConaughey from Tropic Thunder too.
Oh yeah.
Wisconsin, Wagwan.
Oh my
shit.
god! I think I have an album like peeking out back there. That's funny. I'm reluctant to even give you the last question in the lightning round because
We
we're
got
gonna
to.
play a different zone.
We got it.
But we do it every single week. We make it awkward and weird for the final question of the lightning round. Outcast or Hall and Oates?
Outcast.
Easy.
Okay. Easy.
Easy.
Not easy, but it hit me, and I'm sticking with it.
Good.
Congratulations.
You have survived the lightning round, sir. No, I
I had to go quick on that one. There had to at least be one lightning strike.
No, I love that. We've unlocked the 10cc reggae trope, which
You
is
sure did.
taken us nearly 200 episodes to do that.
God damn, that's crazy.
Fucking excellent. I want to talk about AUTOBODY Music, your project with Felix Moreno. You've been doing it for a minute. Is AUTOBODY still active?
Well, it's funny because
And hold up. What a dope name.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's kind of rules.
Such a dope name, bro.
yeah, that thing came to me way before the band. I was like, it was one of those things. It was like, if I ever start a band,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
I saw it. We were like driving through the desert or something. I was looking at, you see like just a AUTOBODY sign. I was like, AUTOBODY, like automatic body, like another word for like robot. And I was like, oh shit, that would be so dope for a band. And then years later, like had the band where it fit. So it was like,
Yeah.
That's so sick.
it was either going to be that or Kuntosh and Testarossa, which was like, oh, you're 90s kids, aren't you? Like one of our friends who's in the music industry was like, pick AUTOBODY.
Yeah.
It's me. Trust me.
Yeah.
So
Short, concise.
we haven't played in a while. So Felix, we've actually always lived in a different city, which is kind of nuts. He's in Houston, and we're both dads now. He's got little kids, and when even like pre-pandemic, we hadn't played in a little while. The cool thing about it is we never pushed shit ever, to the extent where it's like you may be stepping on the toes of the idea of like hustling, like you're supposed to, like working hard is good, but the idea of pushing it on people was like off the table. So it was one of those things where it's like it either had to happen or not. We can't like try to convince people to like it or come or whatever, right? And if it ever stopped like it sounds really lazy. It was like if it ever got hard, just quit. It was like if it ever became something where it was the pain reward ratio got fucked, then it was like done. It has to be fun. It has to be easy in the sense that it comes easy, not and then there's no work, because we worked a ton. Before we had families and wives and girlfriends, it was just 24-hour sessions and just trying to rip off Justice as much as we can. But those kind of life things happened, and I always had the ability to DJ and some other kind of business stuff. He actually has like this crazy cool like petroleum recycling business that's become massive, and so it's like if it didn't happen, we weren't going to do it, and it kind of didn't happen. Then pandemic, and then since then, we just haven't really played. We haven't written music in a long time, but we do actually have a ton of unreleased music. So again, this is like a lightning round answer, in that it's going on forever. But we never broke up, and so the funny thing is now in Austin and Chicago, and a little bit in New York, we have like following and fans, and promoters still like trying to ask, hey, you want to play a show or whatever. The funny thing was in Austin, we would get asked a couple times a year to do an AUTOBODY reunion show. And I was like, we never broke up, man. How do you get back together if you never broke up?
Hey, cash that in.
Yeah.
I heard when you put reunion at the beginning of the show title.
Like a good idea, you know. It sounds like LCD final show ever, you know.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
Yeah. How many of those you get? But we never stopped wanting to do it, and it's funny. Just recently, I played in Aspen. Miserable. No.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah.
Snow bunnies and
with Bank. I don't know if y'all know Bank, that Aussie guy.
Yeah.
And it was we were doing like a boys weekend too, like pre my new baby coming, like a one last hurrah, a dadchular as we call it, dadchular party.
Dadchular.
And
Nice.
we got the crew, and of course Felix was in it, and then the guys who own the Belly Up in Aspen, the Goldbergs, were like, "We heard you're coming. You got to play." I was like, kind of wanted to just like not do shit, you know. But yes,
isn't that the worst when you're on vacation? They're like, "No, he's a DJ," and you're like,
"Oh yeah, that's even worse." This is like a booking, at least, you know. Like, you're gonna get paid, and it's like you got to come open for Bank. It's the only it was the only electronic show they had all weekend. So I was like, yeah, of course, I'm not gonna say no. I could bring a USB stick and play for an hour. It's not
done. Yeah.
And then I made like a joke. I was like, Felix, I assume you're gonna bring your your 400-pound bass amp and your cabinet pedals and everything on the plane and come sit in for a song. Ha ha ha. And I think he kind of took it seriously. And so he like got one of our boys who was going earlier. He moved his flight to like take his guitar up for him and started like, he's like, what songs are we gonna do? And I was like, oh shit, are we gonna play some AUTOBODY tracks on the set? And so we couldn't sound check. He was gonna arrive like 30 minutes before my set started. I had to like plug his bass guitar in, like into the mixer, like the mic, you know. And so and of course, in typical AUTOBODY fashion, we completely fucking were winging it, and it worked. I mean, that's like the whole career, same way. Just lucky ass dudes falling backwards into like cool shit. And he got up there, and I played a couple remixes that we had done, this like Whitney Houston, Oliver, Black Van mashup, triple mashup. And then we wrote this like it's like a song that uses a Fleetwood Mac sample, but it's so obvious that it's more like a remix, but it's like has very little of the original track. So we played that live. I took the bass line out, and we did that was like 10-15 minutes and just jammed out, and it was fucking awesome. And I didn't know people were going to be there, and so we actually did just kind of play as AUTOBODY for the first time in, I don't know, 4 or 5 years.
Sick.
That's tight.
And of course you do that, and then we're like, when are we doing this again? It was like, oh my God. We're like backstage.
Band's back.
That time when I mean, it's like everything came back. And last time I talked to him about it, he was like, well, it's gonna have to be good, I'm gonna have to like really like schedule it. It was like kind of, that painful thing.
Yeah.
But then after that little set or part of the set, he was like, let's fucking go. So hopefully, we'll do it again soon. I don't know if there's ever like a big old tour in the books, maybe at least so my kids graduate from high school or something.
Yeah.
But man, that I would say yes. It's still the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Lightning.
The lightning, yes. Well, because you
don't blink or you'll miss the answer.
Yeah, right. You are also promoting "Make It Hurt," which is your newest single. Tell us about that.
Man, some of these I have like the worst like process of finishing a track and then getting it like in the pipeline, because you can't just like drop it. You got to do like at least a little something, especially when you're playing shows, just a little promotion, or even just like set up your Instagram ads or something,
right
or else no one will see it. The algorithm won't even do it. But when I finally get to do it, it's the best feeling. I miss it. I don't know why I do. I should put a track out every month. I've got them.
Yeah.
I try to write tracks that won't fade away when whatever the new version of Fisher or something is in
Right.
and out.
Right.
But that track I had like written a long time ago, and then got the vocal, and it was like, okay, now this is like done and ready, and then played it in a set, and it was the first time I played one of my own tracks that kind of like popped, like people, when you say like this is my new song, people like pay attention, right? So you're kind of cheating.
Always scary though too.
Very
Always kind of
scary.
scary. Where it's
And
like
I've never had done a very good job. I didn't used to write tracks really like for DJ sets very well, even though it's like house music. It was always still like a song to my own detriment. But this was like, I want to write a track that I can play in my DJ set. And so that was when it got like serious, and it was only a few months after that to where it was like, we gotta put this out, and people dug it. And then I got to play it at the new North Coast, which is not the one that we would recognize from back in the day.
right.
And that's that video that's still up somewhere. Try to keep it at the top of the feed.
Yeah.
It's like a good looking video
Yeah.
of like, I got lucky again, story of my life. Somebody dropped out of, that one.
Yeah. You beat me to it. Yeah.
That was not the stage that I was going to play on. I played like the small stage the day before, stayed up really late, imbibed like I didn't have to do anything the next day. And late that night, many tequilas in, we got word that someone, I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Jay Wara, but it was somebody. It was a female DJ. She couldn't make her flight for some reason, COVID or something, and it was just not going to work. And they knew like that day, like she's not going to get here in time. And it was like 6 p.m. main stage. And I was just in the room, and Leif, my manager, who's one of the owners of the festival, was like, "Well, Thibault will do it, right?" And I was like, "What? yeah. What is it? Yes, I'll do it." And then like afterwards, he's like, "This is the stage you're on, the one with the giant videos and everything." I'm like, "Holy shit!" Okay, so like go home and get all those like graphics ready and start sending them to the dudes, and
just
then
cross-eyed while you're doing it.
Yeah, the next day, my buddy who's kind of like tour managing for me, but really just hanging out, he was like pulling me out of the bed, and he's like, "We gotta go, like you gotta be there." And I couldn't get my laptop to turn on. It was kind of a nightmare. But then I dropped that track near the end, and I was playing right before John Summit. It was like 6,000 people there or something.
Just a little name.
Yeah,
hey, everyone.
In Chicago,
Yeah.
like and don't fuck this up, right? And played the track, had like Leif in the crowd shooting the video back, my buddy shooting the video out, and I never coordinate that shit right. I always have some moment and it's gone forever unless someone else's video, But that was like, I mean, and then right after that set, like the little Spotify, the numbers start going up, and I was like, I had like a real release. That was awesome,
dude. Lightning.
Yeah,
fucking
lightning,
man. Yeah, no, I love that. It's moments like that, and I was reflecting the other day. I filled in for Neek on Saturday. Neek was under the weather. Is still possibly under the weather.
Still very much under the weather.
Yeah, ailing.
Him and I are in the same boat.
mend.
We're in the same boat right now.
Okay. Everyone's not feeling well. So I get the call, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, just being available is kind of a superpower in this industry.
Totally.
Just kind of being there and being on someone's mind as, oh, Thibault can do it.
Let me put a little frosting on top of that and say, also just, not sucking. Like I don't mean like at DJing. Like if you can just be like a decent hang.
Yeah.
Like they know you're not going to screw it up. Even though I kind of like almost did. That's huge. Like when just like, if you ever put yourself in the shoes of a promoter, like half their shit is just like worrying if things are going to like happen, and not like, we want you to be good, but we need you to show up first, and like, and then don't be a dick to everyone. And then we all have seen how that goes. And not being like that and just being like a normal dude and maybe being like fun to have a drink with or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think half my shit has just come from that. I'm not that good at anything.
Right. Right.
I'm just like okay to hang around with.
I think that's kind of the story for all three of us too. You know, like we've just kind of we've been there and you know been cool and been you know amicable to people and stuff like that. And honestly, you know, it is tough to turn it on night after night. It's tough to moonlight as an extrovert because all three of us are not that. You
especially
know,
like you've been sober for a while, especially if you're not like lubing the gears with a bunch
taking
of
that out of the
booze,
equation
yeah,
is like you know
and the
it's
other people
basically
are, you know.
yeah it's
Talking
basically like people banging drums on your ears, you know, like, and it's just like hey, I'm still here, you know, like we're still doing it. Like I realize I'm having a conversation with somebody that you know is like telling me the same story over and over again or whatever, you know.
yeah.
But the next day, you know, like hopefully they'll be like, dude, like he came out last night and he was so cool and I know he doesn't drink and blah blah blah. And let's throw him on this or throw
Yeah.
him on that, you know.
You'll pop to mind
Yeah.
quicker, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I personally don't think I do anything much different than everybody will play the exact same set list differently, right? So I mean it's
For
like
sure.
not like you know we're all not different, but I don't think I do something. I'm not James Hype or so. I'm not like breaking the rules of DJing. It's so unique, you know. It's no,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
I look
Yeah.
different than say,
Yeah.
Oh, so
but
you're not doing like 6 CDJs?
you're right. You
Yeah.
know?
It's like-
And a keytar, you know. And
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah. Yeah.
so that stuff matters. You know, that might be uh the maybe the real answer to the very first question was like that lesson.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
you know, what's the biggest lesson you learn? It's that. And
Yeah.
when you're in your 20s and you get all the energy and you can handle the hangovers or maybe you don't even have them as much,
Right.
that's when it happens. Just being around, being there, not being either an asshole or awkward or whatever, that's huge. That's also like the advice I always give people. Just go
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I assume we're probably all the same. I would DJ for free. I'd do it by myself. Still,
Right.
I love it. It's just fun. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, the guys who just love to play basketball and would do it whether or not they were in the NBA last longer and play better. If it's just a paycheck, it's gonna grind you down because it's not nice,
Yeah.
not easy, and it's
Yeah.
not. There's no salary and all that stuff. So, yeah, that stuff matters a lot.
And as a jobber, you know, we are all working DJs. We are always crawling up that ladder. You know, it's not a John Summit scenario where you're like, hey, you're 20 something and you're at the peak now and you have a mansion in Miami and stuff like that. Like, he's definitely put in the work. He's definitely dropped the singles.
Sure.
But being on the other side of that coin, where you're mid 30s, early 40s, it's twice as hard.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you better
All of it.
you better
Yeah. You know, like it's not a young fresh face in the scene that's like, here he is. It's like these are weathered men that are coming to you.
Yeah.
These are men that have a you know, between us four, you know, have been in these clubs for a while. You know, have seen the good and the bad and have had peaks and valleys of success.
Yeah.
You know, and failure's right around the corner,
always every night, you know.
Yeah.
I it's cool though because I do think in DJing and maybe just like in electronic music in general, I remember being younger and just trying to just sponge up whatever I could because there wasn't like DJ YouTube channels. There wasn't a lot of content, certainly not in America, and then certainly not like in Texas.
Right.
And so I just remember anything I could find, any interview, any essential mix, you know, whether it's on CD or what. Like I was just inhaling it to try to figure out like, you know, how to put it all together. But I do remember like thinking how cool it was that for all the young faced Martin Garrixes and John Summits or whatever there always will be churning out. It's okay to also be Gandalf the Grey, and how cool it is sometimes you get introduced as like legendary DJ, veteran,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and it's like
The
cool.
OG.
Like you
Yeah.
got some like gray hairs, and it's like I like that because there's no other genre that's like that.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
Yeah.
Maybe folk music or something,
Right.
and how soul used to be. It's like I don't want to hear you singing about life. You haven't lived it yet, Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I liked, and I think that's still the case. I was like, I hope I'm that guy someday, even if it's just like, legendary Austin DJ or like West Austin DJ. It's like even
Yeah.
Yeah.
in your
You know?
own little crew, I just love that. I love that you can do that.
That comes from the aspirations of just wanting to make and play music, though, and I think that's the common factor between all of us on this show here, is that the goal was never red carpets and flashbulbs. It simply was like it wasn't like, oh my god, like let me see if I can just be on red carpets, and if I can make a lot of noise and publicity
Or get
and X, Y, and
famous.
Z. Yeah, or get famous. Yeah,
Not on the list.
yeah. The goal was, hey, here's this song, and it's fucking crazy. And no, I didn't make it, but I'm gonna play you another song really well with it, and you're gonna hear it, and you're gonna be like, oh fuck, like these go really well together, and I'm going to create a vibe for the night that leaves you going home sweaty, content, and exhausted.
Yeah, I know I'm definitely not the first person to say it, but I always thought of it as, and I'm like a singer songwriter back in the day. I wanted to be like Willie Nelson before I wanted to be Justice.
Yeah.
Wait, campfire, acoustic guitar. But I always thought of it as it's just a stretched out version of songwriting. So it's like, to write a song, you use chords that everyone else uses. Your C chord is the same as this C chord. Maybe you can do a variation of it, but they're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the instruments are going to be the same, unless you're like
Yeah.
in Eastern music playing in between the notes and shit.
Yeah.
Sitars and things. The difference is when you're making a DJ set, your songs are the chords, and the progression in the entire set is like the song.
Oh.
So you use pieces just like you didn't make this, and you didn't, and the singer songwriter didn't invent the C chord or the
Right.
guitar, right?
Right.
You use them to make this song that's an hour long or 2 hours long. And to me, it was like it felt just the same because I can do both. Neither one very well, but I can do both things.
Yeah.
I get the same feeling. It's just stretched out, and sometimes it can even just be like bigger. It's like we don't, unless you're the 70s, psych band, you're not writing 50-minute songs,
Right.
So like,
Which I do have to say, some of those songs do need to come back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some of those songs that they just need to just let it breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Let
bring
the
back
guitar
jam
solo
bands.
go a little bit. Let the saxophonist go a little bit. Let the piano go a little bit. Just let it breathe.
I think
miss
people
those
are
songs.
asking for that. I think
there's that urgency now that's that's pushed everything so fast through the cog, where it's just like you can't even digest what you heard. You can't even digest an album. You can't even digest the cover art. There's so many different things that is just being dropped because as soon as something comes out, the fans are like, when's the follow-up?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm dying here. I just put my heart and soul on the line.
Yeah.
Like,
Although I do must say that Travis Scott Utopia album is a fine album.
Remember bridges? Remember when songs had bridges?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. That's what
Albums
this
like
Utopia
Deep-
album has.
Yeah. Skits on
Yeah,
albums
skits.
between
Yeah, man.
songs.
Yeah, it's the Mad Rapper.
Yeah.
Diddy and the Mad
Yeah.
Rapper.
Yeah. Like there's these moments that are just kind of getting lost. And
Okay, are we loaded?
yeah, like I feel like that gives people a chance to absorb what they're hearing.
I like the way you said to digest. You don't get a chance to digest because that's like also kind of another little way of saying it's not healthy. It's not a healthy way to consume shit. You're eating too
Right.
fast. You might even be eating some shit where you don't even know what the ingredients are. It's like not good. But
Right.
it's sweet and tasty at the moment, but it's not gonna fill you up the right way and give you kind of like the nutrients of like a really good piece of music that's supposed to be consumed the right way.
Right.
I mean, it does seem like, I mean, we'll see, but these things do cycle.
Yeah.
I mean, not having lived in a few decades, like you can see how it works. You can see like 90s stuff comes back. Like I remember the 90s. Like
Yeah.
that's we're far enough away for it that it can be like a bring back now, like a recall.
And
Yeah.
even the wax shit's being celebrated too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the
I've heard some
shit
like
that
Euro
we-
dance. I'm like, that does not need to come back,
Yeah. People are like, this is great. You're like, you weren't there. You're like,
Yeah,
you know?
Yo,
You were
Tiger
not
just
there.
brought back Vanilla Ice.
Oh yeah. Like,
Crazy.
I don't know.
Crazy.
And also,
I wonder if the
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
people are running out of ideas. As
if
far
the
as
cycle
yeah,
like does if there is a cycle in these things and we're not just like it's like parabolic just into oblivion when there's
yeah,
just ringtones and no
Yeah.
songs. It's
yeah,
all AI, which
Yeah.
is possible. But
Yeah.
if we do
Yeah.
kind of cycle out of that, I think you're right. Like I think people will. It's like buttons in cars. It's like everything shouldn't be on the screen. Like we like to flip switches and hear clicks and things, and that shit I think is gonna cycle back around, and it's gonna be kind of the people are gonna want what they used to have because it's gone so
Right.
far overboard. So people
Right.
might want to consume whole albums. I mean, some of that's for sure already happening,
yeah.
and kind of going against the algorithm and going around it, Bandcamp stuff like that. But yeah, we can hope.
You touched
Honestly,
on
both is
yeah,
the best. Both is the best. Like, I
yeah.
don't want them to outlaw Slurpees, but we also need to drink OJ.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. No, you touched on an important point too, is that everything is getting so screen based to where I think people are experiencing that crippling loneliness from just being with this in front of their face, to where people are going to break out and be like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to go down today and go to Starbucks and give them my order instead
Yeah.
of having it delivered to me.
It's happening at least a little. Obviously, that's probably what one of the better things to come out of the pandemic was. Yeah, I mean we can get more shit delivered, but also people like I miss people, so we're
Yeah.
like going to shows and like going back to work and being around humans and
Yeah.
next generation needs it bad.
Yeah. People need to dance. People need to experience. They need to, and this is why I know that the AI won't take over the DJ, because that feeling is there. That feeling from the DJ,
Let's
and
try it again. It's like when you see that music and the timing when it came out, and the feeling that he had just from his personal shit, it was like perfect.
right.
And
Right.
that makes me agree with you like 100%.
Yeah.
You can
Shout
get
out Bless Madonna.
Yeah, oh,
Shout
man.
out Blast Madonna
for
Maria.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But there needs to be those nights where the DJ comes in a shitty mood and plays an angry set, plays a full emotion set where it's like, damn, they're having a bad day. Like that, I just finished reading Mel Sheeran's book, My Life at Paradise Garage, talking about Larry Levan played at the garage with different emotions on different nights. If something was going wrong in his life, he relayed that through the music on the dance floor.
Or in the world,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the news or whatever. Yeah.
If he was happy, you got that version of him that night in the club. When the club was closing, he was playing just a bunch of sad shit. And Mel Sheeran from West End came up and said, "This is a celebration. I need you to change this shit right now. People have plenty of time to sulk and remorse about Paradise Garage closing. We need to be happy. We have one night left to do this."
Yeah.
and he instantly changed it and went into that zone where everyone felt like this was their last night on Earth in a good way.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that is why AI can't take over.
I think that's right. I mean, I get, a camera that looks out to judge the crowd and like the algorithm, but it's all going to be based on shit that people were doing anyway.
Right.
And so it's always going to be by definition behind.
Right.
You know?
Right.
At least for a while, So yeah, and the other thing is, even if an AI could do all those things, like you get to know your favorite artist, your favorite DJ, and you can't really get to know an AI. I don't know. I guess there's that Joaquin.
Right. Yeah. You can't predict the variables that your favorite artist is going to bring.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like you can tell, oh, he's having a weird day, or I know why he did that because like he did this the last set, and this has a different meaning than just like an AI doing, even if it was the exact same thing. That's kind of what I mean to say. Like you take the two exact same sets, but you're looking up at a person doing it versus a screen, it's going to mean something different.
Right.
Yeah. Unless it's AIs watching AIs, you can't take the human part out of it.
Right. Yeah. And AI is not going to replicate the tortured artist.
Right. In a lifetime of shit and a backstory. I mean, you can make all that up, but it's just, and it will try. It'll try. Yeah.
And it makes everything less impressive. Like,
I think so.
I think if AI did a routine that like a person did, that I'd be like, oh shit. If it's just an artificial program doing it, it's automatically less fresh. Like, who cares?
Who cares?
Is Allen Iverson mad about this?
He's
the only AI I acknowledge.
Exactly. There's the one AI. Yeah. No, it's definitely alludes to an interesting point where it will get stale at some point, where the AI only recognizes, oh, this song works, and then this song works, and that song, and they're not going to fuck up. Yeah, they're not going to fuck up. I love hearing mistakes in a DJ set. I love hearing DJs take risks. I love seeing people clear the dance floor and build it back up.
Oh yeah.
That's the sticks and stones of this whole operation. Is that not every night is the Super Bowl?
That's why robotic drums. That's like even if you're programming your drums, then you got to move them a little bit off the ones and the twos, so it sounds a little bit more human. And again, an algorithm can try to figure that stuff out, but it's just never going to sound the same.
Yeah. And AI is not going to do what Travis Scott does.
No. And even if it did, it wouldn't be, like you said, it would be, it's like when anybody rips off anyone else. Even if perfectly, it's a great cover. Thanks.
Hey, Mr. Dupree.
Yeah.
Shout out Robbie Dupree.
Yeah.
It's a tool. I think there will be a really cool upside though. Like I was thinking about how I started music with, hip hop, and samples was like a big part of it. Even the electronic shit, obviously, like back in the day, it was sample based, and the French touch stuff. And you're always like fighting that battle of like, can I get this shit cleared? And then there's like people who are like, I'm gonna make my own samples. They go in with a band and like record it and like sample it. It's like, I don't know if it's always kind of like a battle. And I was like, what if you could, because you can definitely type text to music now on like these sites and get like, none of it's that good yet, but some of it sounds like other shit. And I was like, well, what it could be cool for is samples. Just be like, hey, give me a Beatles track, and it sounds like 65% Beatles, but you can use it as a sample and it could be really cool, and it's yours. And
Trox was doing that recently. He's a hip hop producer we've had on the show, and he was using AI for samples.
I think that could be cool.
There's a lot of older rappers who are really excited about who've lost their voice, who've been like, okay, cool, I can put music out again using my old voice.
Oh, that's cool.
So like DOC and Freeway are two rappers that come to mind that are really excited. They're like, oh, we could use our voice again.
This is the cool. This is where I think the upside is, and really will only matter right now for a little while. It's going to take a long time before it could do anything that we could be like, is that real or fake? Or I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Beatles, the new Beatles album, and that was
Yeah.
Beanie Siegel, by the way, not Freeway. Beanie Siegel.
Beanie. Yeah.
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 But
throat surgery, right?
yeah, so he lost his voice, so he's like really excited to be able to put music out again with his old voice. And then Paul McCartney and Ringo are doing the new Beatles album using old demos, using AI to basically use John Lennon's voice. And
that's fucking cool. Don't tell me that's not cool. That's awesome.
That's sick.
Yeah.
But it's like
it's scary for sure.
Sure.
But they're not using it
the right
in a
way.
Yeah, they're not using it in a way that's like me and you making the new Beatles album.
Right.
I know it feels like this is like nothing else before, but like every technology was that. They said plugging guitars in. They're like, well, music's over. This shit.
The DX7 came out. Nobody thought instruments would be a thing anymore. The
Right,
Lid drum machine changed everything. Drums
how many
wouldn't be a
drum
thing
machines
anymore.
are going to eliminate the drummer forever?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
It'll still be there. It'll all still be there.
And when you combine them, it's even cooler. So
it's even cooler. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a whole. This is going to be an ongoing discourse for sure, and we'll have to
well until Hollywood figures this shit out.
Oh yeah.
I think the trickle down effect will happen. Once they figure out the whole strike and everything like that, and iron out everything with AI, which by the way they are meeting today, like right now, about that. So
AI.
Good luck though. I don't know if they have any leverage on that. They but they got to do something. So
they got to do something. Something's got to be
something
done.
out of it.
Yeah.
But it's just going to be almost like out of the goodness of the studio's hearts. They don't really need to. There's no leverage, I hope it's something like the Teamsters just got
the leverage. Well, one of the leverages is the emotion that that we're
or
talking
that like
about.
you can't replace any of them right now. Like you need them right now, and like by the way, if they strike for another like year or two, you're fucked. Like,
Exactly. The clock is ticking for sure. Like,
yeah, man. I mean,
every week this goes on is like one more week of no.
Yeah, the studios put an offer on the table today that they are going through right now.
They got to do something. Yeah, I mean,
I get what you're saying. Why the trickle down effect? Because however this ends will ultimately affect the music industry. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, like the usage of like if whatever the Drake Weekend song, whatever, like the usage of your likeness,
stuff like that.
More like I think it's gonna be more like a legal thing.
Well, I was gonna say like the legalities.
Definitely, that's more of what I'm talking about. It's the legal behind the scenes paperwork stuff that's going to have to be dealt with, and they are going to be looking at how the writers in Hollywood.
I don't think any of the situations we're referencing in regards to music necessarily are problematic,
right?
Until it becomes like the Drake and Weekend song,
right?
Like
Exactly.
Until you have a hit on your hands.
Until you have a hit, somebody made a hit not using any of these.
And they're trying to get in front of that before that happens.
It was
because that Drake Weekend song was hard.
It got close.
Yeah, it was like they were like, "Oh, this is all goofy and fun," and they heard that and was like, "Wait, whoa,
Everybody, slow the fuck down."
It's
Drake's like, "Let me get back on tour, man. Let me get out in front of this real quick."
He went out there real quick. No, it's me, guys. It's really me.
We know. Put a track out together like right then and be like, this is how it's actually done.
Yeah. Somebody will do like a me versus me kind of album where it's like AI and them.
You're right.
It's just gonna be like it'll be huge.
You're right.
So.
Yeah.
Jordan Lucas is probably gonna do that.
Somebody, yeah. I don't know. I feel
like
I hate to say it's yay. It's a yay thing for sure.
You might be right with that.
And it'll be good. We'll be like, damn.
Yeah, damn. Got us again. Yeah.
Kanye got that jetpack from jumping on stage with Trav.
Oh yeah. He's man.
Woo. I put that jetpack. I don't blame him either. Man, the crowd was going crazy for him.
Yeah. No, for sure.
That's the truth. Whatever people think is the truth, it doesn't matter until you're like out there with the people.
Yeah.
The internet is not a real place.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And we are not real either.
Yeah.
right.
This show is actually AI. None of us are here right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. A couple housekeeping questions, and then, sir, we will send you on your way to enjoy the rest of your day. But first, I got to pass it to Neek.
Is this
Nico.
This is a lightning round esque segment of the show.
Yes.
It's the thunder round.
Thunder round.
I'll get that right. Maybe I'll get that.
What we like to do around these parts is set our friends up with fast food endorsement meals.
Oh,
What we want to know is, what is the T-Mobile and where is it?
oh, damn.
What is your go-to fast food order?
Well, forever. I mean, this is an easy answer. Like 2 years ago, I'm gonna stick with it right now. But you know, I'm from Texas, so
What a burger. Let's go.
Yeah.
And they had. It was like one of those McRib things where something would come on the menu and then it would go away.
Yeah.
Take it away, and then they tease it and they wouldn't give it to you.
Yeah.
I just wanted it more and more. It was just a regular burger. It was called the A1 Thick and Hearty Burger. It was a double with I think it had like grilled onions, but it had like A1 steak sauce on it.
Nice.
And it was no like lettuce, tomato, none of that stuff. I think maybe it had pickles. But
Yeah, that hearty.
man,
It's hearty, man.
Hungry man burger.
24 hours a day, any
Yep.
I could eat it for breakfast. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like a whole meal. I would do that, fries, shake, and then I think
Wait a minute, what shake?
What shake?
straight vanilla.
Ooh, okay.
Fries, vanilla.
That's
We're doing-
upsetting. I'm definitely gonna remix it. If I go to Whataburger, I'm definitely asking for the Dr. Pepper shake for your meal.
Yeah, that is dope. But
Yeah.
if I'm doing fries, I gotta go vanilla. No
Oh,
fries.
do you dip?
Sometimes, or I'll do
Okay.
like, in the mouth, like
Yep.
take a bite, take a sip, take a
That's
bite, take a sip.
Classic.
There's something
move.
about like actually dipping it in. I was like, I won't go that far, but I'll do
That's
the
crazy.
thing in my
I feel
mouth.
you on that. I've always thought people were a little wild for
I was
that.
like, come on.
I only did the
like
dip
pie
with
when you-
the Frosties.
Yeah.
The Frosty.
That's
Yeah.
what everybody does. I still think that's kind
That's
of
off the
crazy.
table.
I'll
I'm
have
with you.
fries and a Frosty.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put
I
the
will
fries
not
in my
use the
mouth.
fry as a utensil. That's crazy.
I'm
Fair.
with you. I don't get on people for it, but I just something about it.
Yeah.
What the?
It
I want
seems like we're taking a step back
As a society.
as a society when we do that.
We go over here judging.
I'm not
us still
judging
eating
you,
just-
but I do feel like
Hey,
They
caveman,
give you
eat
a
it the right
spoon.
way.
I'm not judging you, but I do feel like I'm above you.
you just.
I'm sitting here with my spoon, like
Yeah.
Come on.
Look how big of a scoop I got with this piece of plastic. Not your crinkly, dangly around fries all blended into your drink.
all soggy ass fries and
lose one
potato
in there.
drink.
You might lose it. Yeah.
Then what? You're gonna
Oh,
drink it
yeah.
later? No,
I
no.
need another fry to scoop out my fry.
Yeah.
No, just use a fucking spoon, you ghoul. Like, what are you
And then
doing?
it's like a FEMA event. Like, how do we get more people are falling in? It's like, fuck.
We're losing them. There's like a whole large fry inside that frosty.
Again,
So, like, my meal also has. I think my meal also has a root beer though. I think I have like
Ooh.
a shake and a root beer.
Let's
I like
go.
that.
Okay.
I like that.
Make your own root beer float. I like that.
Right
Okay.
at the end you can.
What
I thought
root beer does Whataburger have?
They had some weird. For a while, they had like how you're either like a Coke or a Pepsi or like a weird offshoot regional.
Right.
They would kind of go in between. So sometimes, like if you have Coke, like I don't think Coke has its own root beer, but like
Nico.
Pepsi has like,
Barks,
Coke has
Barks.
bars. Yeah.
and so
which I
when-
think is the superior root beer.
it's a great root beer because it's
got
good
bite.
out of the bottle,
Yes.
but it's also good out of the fountain.
Yes.
Yep.
Which is a must.
Mhm.
But when they did, it was probably if they were on a Pepsi era,
Mm.
it would be Barks. But I think they might have had Mug for a while, which is
Oh,
also,
okay.
Pepsi, yeah.
I think that's also Pepsi. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Pepsi,
So-
Mug and A&W are Pepsi products. Coke is Barks.
There you Okay.
Pepsi has 2 root beer. That's weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They just acquire them, and then
Yeah.
brand loyalty.
So Whataburger jumps back and forth between Pepsi and Coke depending on their contracts.
I think they did. I want to say they certainly like started Coke because
Okay.
Coke like has like a heavy footprint in Texas and obviously like Georgia. But
Right.
there's like a big bottling thing in Texas, and like
Gotcha.
Texas is one of those places where you say Coke instead of like soda. Although
Right.
I say soda, which is weird because I always thought
Everybody says Coke.
Just
Do you want a
Coke.
Coke? And you ask what
Even if
kind.
Sprite
Mhm.
or yeah,
You never say pop?
never say pop.
No.
Never say
Pop's
Pop's Midwest.
Pop
Yeah.
is Midwest
Pop is Midwest.
and a little Northwest too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard it in
Yeah.
the PX.
Yeah.
I've always found pop very strange.
Really?
Yes, it always sounded like foreign, like Canadian.
See,
Yes.
soda always sounded foreign to me. It was always pop.
Midwest, yeah.
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 When I moved, I switched to saying soda.
Yeah.
Soda. But it
I
was
do
always
soda
pop.
now.
Yeah.
When
I
people
grew up
say
Um,
pop, I think it's quirky. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really?
it sounds off.
like they're being silly.
mm.
And if you say soda pop, you're just a time traveler.
Yeah, you're
You know Marty
Can I get a soda
McFly.
pop?
that's the real quirky. Now you're doing that one on purpose.
Right.
You're getting a water in the face, is what you're getting.
You instantly ask where Dr. Brown is. Just
Yeah. You don't need roads.
Like, this person's a narc.
Yeah, and
Is
then
that
I
a
would-
DeLorean that you just stepped out of?
yeah, that's the tell right there. Did you say soda pop? Get the fuck out of here.
or not from
You're a
my
goddamn cop.
this fucking narc over here
Kid's got any marijuana leaf?
taking the butt.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hey, speaking of movies. Oh wait a minute, are we done with the meal?
Oh, I would.
Yeah.
You know what? I would throw the apple pie. They've got a good.
Oh, fire!
I'm excited about Whataburger. We just announced that we're getting them in Vegas.
So
Oh, word!
Whataburger
Good.
is still like it's still fucks. It's great, but I will say, they sold it. There's a company out of Chicago of all places broke my heart.
Oh,
bought it
they're
out.
corporate now.
They are, yeah.
That explains why they're coming here.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And they were only like in
Yeah.
the South and in Texas. I mean, it was just Texas, and then it kind of spread out Louisiana and
Yeah, I went to KC
Mexico, I
because of
New Mexico, Georgia.
Pat Mahomes.
But
I know they definitely had some in New Mexico.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And like they said, yeah, I mean, there's not going to be the same. I don't know, quality control.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's fast food, but like recipes and flavors and whatever.
I mean that does
They're going to frozen meat, which was
Right.
that was their claim to fame, is like they had Texas beef and it was
Yeah.
that it's hard to maintain that quality once you go national. Regional is one thing, like in and out.
big time.
When you go national, like your sources are different from area to area.
You got to go
Sorry.
further, which means you got to freeze it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Science.
Yeah. Crap.
Damn.
I'll still put
So we are developing our DJ biopic cinematic universe. So in this DJ biopic cinematic universe, who is playing Thibault?
Chris Hemsworth, obviously.
Let's
right?
go.
Easy.
Let's
As-
go.
as
Say
Fat
less.
Thor, though.
Say less.
As
That was a
Fat
lightning
Thor.
round right there. That was lightning
It
round.
can't be
Let's
like
go.
Rip Thor. He has to be Fat Thor.
Oh, even better. Let's go.
I like that.
Loghouse Thor.
New name. Big change.
You
Brand.
got like an H&M V-neck.
really
Like,
deep.
Drinking a
Really
four,
good.
four
Might have to
loco
go
with the
just a
hammer.
mustache.
He's
Yeah.
got the scarf, like the Habibi
The
scarf.
Pashmina.
Oh yeah.
Sweating.
Habibi scarf.
Sweating 105, but scarf.
Oh
Yes,
my
yeah.
God.
Oh, just a V-neck and sleeves up to the tippy top of his shoulder,
Yeah.
a scarf.
And
Yeah.
probably knit hat, even though.
And that
It's
hat,
hot as fuck, but he's
Yeah.
got a knit hat for sure with the long hair inside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just
Mhm.
Pull it back so you can see
Oh,
the bangs.
American,
Mhm.
American
Yeah, a
apparel
little bang-
down
a little
to
bit
the
of bang coming
toes. Yeah. Yeah.
American Apparel. Yes.
I love that. Fuck yeah.
gave me big feelings. American.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Add
Fucking
that
rules.
add that to the bio, man.
That's in it.
Bloghouse Thor. I love
Yes.
that.
One song.
Yeah, one song that you want to add to the 5 on 5 podcast playlist. It can be any song. your gift to the world. Now, I will say we're gonna add "Make It Hurt."
Yes,
We're off the rip. We're gonna do our part in helping push forward the new single.
Yes.
But
it's a fire song too.
outside of that, we're taking that off the table. So no
Would have been
self
such a
promo.
nice.
Yeah,
easy-
yeah, you can't pick that song.
No self promo around here.
So, yeah. So is it like for? Give me some more parameters for this. Is it just a? Is
your
it like
gift,
a
your
DJ
gift,
set?
your gift to the world?
Yep.
It doesn't have to be a club song. It can just be a song you want to put on a
It could be
playlist.
Careless Whisper, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've never been more proud. Wait, can it still not be mine? It's not mine. It's the
Yeah.
but it is kind of mine.
I've never been more proud to not write this song.
I'm more proud to be Whitney Houston. No, that song that I was talking about that's kind of like a triple mashup remix.
Yeah.
That it's like it's become my whenever it fits into a set because it's a little bit slower. It's kind of 120, and it's long. It's like 8 minutes, and it takes you on like a journey. I like to end like awesome sets with it. It's like that great kind of outro song.
Uh-huh.
It's it's Dance with Somebody. Is it it's like a mashup with that and this like Oliver remix of another song mashed up with the original song, and then I put some beats in there. I'd put that one in there just because it's like it doesn't feel like I'm listening to my own track, so this is hopefully not as narcissistic as it sounds. But
Wait, is it on Spotify?
it's not. So that doesn't qualify. That
So
was my
that's your-
gotta be on
that's your
Spotify.
now
Gotta
we
be
can put all three of those songs that you mentioned on there.
No.
That's the
That would
workaround.
work. In fact, I don't think I think the remix may have just been like a blog remix. I don't know if
Oh
it's
shit.
That's a tough one, man. Like I gotta think about that. Just for a playlist or for a DJ set?
Just for a
Playlist.
Just
playlist.
for a playlist, yeah.
God, I don't know. And they would like have to represent me. I'm so bad at these recall things.
Who am I?
What do I like?
You know what I would probably do? I'd probably put an Oliver track on there
Okay.
because
Oh, yeah.
I guess it used to be two guys. I was gonna say I love that dude, but I think it's maybe just one now.
Yeah.
But it's not that I think that's the best music of all time or like my favorite music, but I think it's like the most unexplainably underrated shit. It's the best production I've ever heard. Just
Oliver's very cool. I fuck with that.
and like
Mhm.
I just feel like every time I play it for somebody, they're like, "What is that?" and freak out, and I'm like, "No one's heard of this. Like, no one's heard of shit." He doesn't really play live, but he's like an incredible producer and has done some really
Yeah.
cool stuff. So I'd probably pick an Oliver track. I don't know which one I would pick though. I'm gonna pull out my phone. I'm gonna
Pull it
call
up.
a friend named Spotify and look
Phone a
at
friend.
most
Hey,
played.
James Murphy, who am I? What do I like?
Oh,
Mm.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's all my friends. It's probably all my friends. Damn.
There it is. LC Sound System.
All my friends. Whoa. I like that workaround.
If that's
Yeah.
not on there, that needs to be on there. I'll put that.
It is not.
Is
So-
that
Somehow
that has
not
All my
like-
friends, is it all there?
Not yet.
Nope.
Oh, I get to be the one to put all my friends on there. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like the best LCD track, and it's like one of his least favorite, which is like probably why I like it. I love it when that happens. People accidentally write their best hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Team of
Hey,
the
I want to go back to Oliver though, real quick.
Yeah.
Which Oliver track would you put on there?
Okay, so let me look that back up. And the cool thing about Oliver, it just feels like real personal because I've been listening to his shit for so long, and he really did. I don't know if it was like Bloghouse days, but I definitely found him on blogs.
Okay.
Man, so if you just go right to his page, that
Oh,
dangerous
I
remix
just-
that he did is
Wow.
so
Move Your Body was the first Oliver song I ever heard.
good. Oh,
MYB.
we go back to the Mechanical album.
Oh,
MYB, yeah. Night is on my mind. I used to play that all the time. Control. God, what would it be?
Oh my God, Kitsuri. This is crazy. I haven't.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You about to go on a deep dive again?
Yeah.
automatic.
Best.
Automatic. I played that a lot. I would love to start sets with that. If I'm starting cold, or if I'd be playing with like live acts, and it's not like a dance floor type thing. I used to love to start sets with automatic because it has this incredible long, like, sprawling intro, and then it just drops like the just dirtiest beat. So I might put automatic in there.
We're sick.
Yeah.
You gotta have Oliver on the show now that that's out into the ether.
I would love to watch
Yeah.
that episode, man.
Yeah.
Whenever he has started to do more videos and like how to's and how I do my shit, and I'm just like another person. I'm just like, I rip this guy off as hard as I can. Like, how does he make those snare sounds? Just tell me. And now he sample packs, so it's almost like the mystery is over. I'll just use his drums,
Yeah.
No, I definitely used a couple Oliver samples for our song "Struttin" that we put out.
Oh yeah,
for Mount Vacation, and then
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so thank you, Oliver.
Oh,
a tip of the hat.
Which, by the way, hey, side note though, strutting still works.
It still works. Yeah,
still works.
You
it needs to be put out.
Yeah,
throw it to Neek. Have Neek put some magic on it, and then let's put it out.
It's out. It's on SoundCloud. Or it's on Spotify.
Yeah, we need to re-release it though.
Let's do a remix.
A re-release. Re-release.
A re-release.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we take off, anything else you want to promo from the Thibault camp, from the AUTOBODY camp, from anything?
No,
Please,
man.
sounding board.
No reunion tours.
I will say, yeah, I can almost guarantee at this point. I don't know if a month ago I could say this, but I can guarantee like AUTOBODY will be back. We will do.
Yes.
It's gotta happen. The feeling was
fire under the ass, right?
Oh my god, it was too much to withstand, man. But no, like I don't have anything to pimp right now. It was just really, really cool to do this and reconnect.
Yes.
And meet you guys.
Yes.
And also find a new dope podcast. I mean, seriously, I need this stuff. Like I drive in my car, I try to walk and run around and get a little exercise, and like podcast the shit. And like you guys have a really, really good one here, man. Really,
thank you, man.
It took me being on it to find it. Damn it! Like I should have known. I should have done it earlier.
Yeah.
But
by any means necessary, we're gonna get those listeners.
Yeah. No, we really appreciate it, man, and we're so happy to hear a story of somebody getting that fire relit for them after joining back together and making music, because nowadays you hear a lot of stories of people just kind of being like, well, we did the thing, we're cool with that, and now we're just going to go shift into this mode or that mode. So to hear that, and to hear you say we're definitely getting back to business is very inspiring. And I want that.
Thank you.
I want a lot of people to hear that too, because it's not a young cat's game. You know, and LCD blew up when James was what, 33, 34, 35, something like that.
40.
Yeah.
Make everyone feel better. Whatever you're worried about.
James was 60 years old when LCD yeah. He was young 99 years old when he played Your Wedding. Yeah. But no, thank you, man, for real. I think that is the testament. That is the lesson in there. You're never too old. You're never too young. Just fucking go chase it.
Yeah. And if you feel it, don't not do it. Don't make excuses to not do it. Certainly not by age or whatever. If old, fat, gray bearded dad can do it, so can you.
Hey,
yeah. Mic drop. You'll be seeing that quote on our Instagram page.
Yes.
Weeks. I'll tell you.
I almost
right
got
now.
out of here. I made it all the way through the lightning round, and
Ladies and gentlemen, Thibault. Oh, let people know where they can find you on socials.
Yeah, I'm on the socials. It's an incredibly hard spelling, because I heard you're supposed to make it hard to find yourself. So yeah, it's Thibault Music spelled the French way. So MUSIQUE.
Yeah, I think
yes.
I think you got a lot of people were able to find you.
Yeah. You can spell Thibault first. Now you got to figure out a new way to spell music. But yeah, that's on the gram. and the threads now, I guess, and
Oh,
X.
yeah, right.
Wait, X. What do we do?
X.
I don't
We're here now.
And then yeah, just tbowmusic.com. That would just the regular spelling. That might be the easiest place to find all the stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll get some new Thibault music out there too. Make It Hurts out.
Yep.
Go get down with it and
Listen to that on the playlist.
Yes. No, I can't wait to go see the playlist. Damn.
Yeah.
Hey,
Giving me
playlist
so
is
much
impressive.
content.
It's deep.
5 on
It's
5
deep.
playlist.
Yeah.
5 on 5 playlist.
Yeah, search that on Spotify 5 on 5 podcast playlist. And yeah, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the show, man. Keep
Pleasure's
us
mine.
posted with what's going on and keep cranking out tunes. Send some tunes over too. Anything
yeah.
you're working on, send it over to the boys. You got our email. We did that thread this morning. We'll be back next week with another incredible guest to tell you about more music.
And I'll be
how-
listening.
Yes. And now we have you on board to listen. So we will cater the podcast from here on out. We'll say, hey, this is a 5 on 5 podcast. Good morning, Thibault.
Oh, that'll be
And then we'll lead into it. All right, y'all. Until then, everyone stay safe and we'll see you out there. Peace.
Jeez.
Peace.